All right, so today we are here with a lucid dreaming expert, Mr. Andrew Gray. So, Andrew, could you talk to me a little bit about your lucid dreaming experiences and how you got started in lucid dreaming and all that kind of stuff?
Sure. Well, I've been lucid dreaming for most of my life. I don't even remember the first one, probably around 5 years old. And at the time, didn't have a word for it, obviously, didn't know the term. And then around about in the high school, early college years, I heard the term. I think it was through a meme, and who I was friends with at the time, and learned the term lucid dreaming, and I had a word to put to this extremely strange phenomenon, and ever since then, ever since I was able to identify it, I was interested in it, and I've been working in that area ever since.
Very cool. Okay. So, just so the audience know, you went to high school with
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay. So,
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah. We both went to high school in the Northern Virginia area.
Oh, very cool. The Robinson or whatever it's called.
Robinson High School.
Oh, cool. Okay, so yeah, so he's a very good friend of and forgot to mention. So sounds like lucid dreaming kind of came to you naturally. You don't have to use any techniques like I'm not a lucid dream expert by any means, but some people say they use like that mild technique and all these different techniques and stuff like that. Setting dream alarms and taking supplements and writing down your dream journals and stuff like that. So you don't do any of that stuff at all, or?
Well, yeah, I make use of any or as many of those techniques as I can, as much of the time as I can. Dream journal, it's, most people that are into lucid dreaming recommend that, and it's definitely an important thing. I find it sometimes it's hard to write immediately when you wake up, but it's good to do it, because then when you reflect on it and when you read it later, it really brings the experience kind of back into the forefront of your mind, and you kind of re-experience the whole thing again.
Excuse me.
And so yeah, I think that's important. And then there's also the various techniques like you mentioned mild and wild, which stands for wake induced lucid dreaming. I tend to that's the method that tends to work best for me, because I just find it easier to kind of slip into the lucid dream from directly from waking, which is a technique of kind of being super relaxed and allowing yourself to kind of go right into it while remaining conscious, but while your body falls asleep and goes through sleep paralysis, and you actually feel the paralysis taking effect, and suddenly you're able to kind of step into the lucid dream, and you're there.
Stories or like experiences that you had, anything profound?
I mean, within the dream, within the LD, there's plenty of profound experiences that frequently I've taken advantage of. I mean, one of them is the ability to sort of have sort of extraordinary abilities, using energy within the dream, moving things. In waking life, you would call it telekinesis, but in the dream, I've found myself doing that a lot, and setting things ablaze. Actually shooting flames out of
wow, really? Very cool.
I mean, we're getting into some strange stuff, but this is just cool things that
this channel, feel comfortable. This channel is all about strange stuff. So
yeah, and so they're like you feel like in the moment. I mean, you feel like you have these in that world. You have these abilities to say, you know, if there's some kind of menacing creature that's a threat in the dream, I could simply shoot flames out of my hands and set it on fire. And that's kind of an ability that I've been kind of perfecting over the years.
Wow, that's really cool. Oh, you were perfect? Wow, really?
Well, I'm always working on it, but I found, you know, that it gets into the levels of lucidity, because at a higher, there's different levels of lucidity. There's a very low level of lucidity where you might know that it's a dream, because that's all it takes for it to be a lucid dream, is that you are aware, in fact, that you're dreaming while you're dreaming. That is the only thing that's required for it to be a lucid dream. None of these abilities are required, but that would be a very low level of lucid dreaming.
Right.
So the levels, once you get into higher levels of lucidity, and I'm not talking about higher levels like personal, like expertise. I'm talking about just within the context of a lucid dream. If you're in a higher level of lucidity, then that's when you're able to overcome more of the dream physics. If you're in the lower levels, you just know that it's a dream, but you can't necessarily do anything really about it, because your mind is still too, you're sort of too closed-minded to believe that the actual true implications of the dream. So you don't have quite all of the abilities. And so as the levels get into deeper lucidity, then you have more abilities, and also you're more immersed in the dream, and you're more able to maneuver in the dream.
Wow.
And there's just more potential and the ability to stay in the dream.
Stay in the dream.
Yeah. So these are all have to do with.
Can you wake up at will, like at any point?
Oh yeah.
Oh really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
interesting.
And in fact, I mean, and with most people that do lucid dreaming, it's not the problem of waking up. You can do that anytime you like. It's staying in there, because it's a lot harder to.
So it's a lot harder to stay in there.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
And there's various techniques that plenty of people have written about for staying in.
Right.
Such as, and I don't know which authors at the moment, but they've cited, and I've used these though, sort of just gripping your hands together and centering your awareness in your hands and in the center, and that will center you in the dream and keep it and prolong it. And then there's also spinning, just spinning around for whatever reason tends to center you and keep you.
Wow. Okay.
So these are techniques for that.
Very interesting. So Andy, you know, I've heard of people that can actually, like, you know, study or, like, you know, acquire new skill sets in real life and stuff like that in the lucid dream. Can you do that sort of stuff in lucid dream? Or?
Oh yeah, definitely. A lot of people, and a lot of people have written about cultivating and practicing certain abilities within the dream. And I believe Jack Nicholson, the pro golfer, actually worked on his golf game through lucid dreaming. And there's a lot of examples like that. A lot of musicians, Aphex Twin, one of my favorite electronic musicians, Richard D. James, he has said that one of his entire albums was he basically created in a dream, and then when he woke up, you know, immediately would record the sounds that he heard in his head and in his dream. So there's really cool. A lot of examples like that. And personally, I'm also a musician myself. And, I frequently, a thing that I try to do is just find either a guitar or a piano or a synthesizer and play those in the dream and see if I can actually practice them in the dream. That's one of the hardest things, at least for me, to do. It just doesn't come as easily as some other things, but yeah, I like like to do that.
Right, right. So how often do you lucid dream every single night? Like in a month, how many
Yeah,
times do you?
definitely not every single night. The usually most of the time for me it's in the very early morning, and any morning that I wake up at the ideal time to where it's basically around 4 or 5 a.m.
Oh, okay.
And then stay up for maybe 30 to 45 minutes and then go back to sleep, and go into the wild technique basically. That's
Right.
after that amount of time, just use the wild technique and go right into the dream. This would actually, that falls under the waken back to bed technique.
Right.
So that combined with the wild technique, those are what I tend to use. And not every night, just because it doesn't, I'm not always able to wake up, and of course I have other things that I got to do that interfere with the perfect sleep schedule. But anytime when I am able to wake up at this early time in the morning and then go into it, and then sometimes depending on stuff I have to do, I can't even sleep an entire night. I have kind of my own technique that I've kind of termed the exhaustion technique. And I don't recommend it to anybody because this has to do with not being able to sleep. That's the only reason that I came up with this technique. But sometimes, because I have some insomnia sometimes. So if I can't sleep at all, and then it's getting to be about 4 a.m. and I'm just exhausted, and then for whatever reason I'm able to do the wild technique, because when I finally go to sleep, my body is so exhausted that it just kind of falls into it's just like, screw this.
Go into the lucid dream right away.
Yeah, right.
Wow,
so you go more
more
into the REM sleep. Obviously, REM sleep is dream sleep, and that's where the lucid dreaming happens. And you go in much quicker and more suddenly if you're sleep deprived. So that's something I don't recommend that because it's probably not very healthy. But it is effective.
It is effective. Wow, very, very cool. Okay. So, Andy, you're coming out now with a book along with Almond pretty soon. What is this book going to be called? And you're going to share your unique techniques such as the exhaustion technique and stuff like that. And I'm sure there's a lot more techniques that you will be revealing in this book. Am I correct on that? Or?
Oh yeah. I mean, we're working on a book that goes through all of these some techniques that are, some of them are more well known than others, but we're gonna go through a lot of different ones and talk about the lucid dreaming from all sorts of angles. I don't believe we've got the title quite down yet, but but yeah, that's coming together. That we're working on that, and that'll add a lot to the lucid dreaming body of literature.
Right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Andy, for coming on our channel to do this video with us. Definitely when Andy's book's out, we'll definitely let you guys know. And any final thoughts, Andy, that you have for in regards to lucid dreaming at all? Or?
No, just stay lucid.
Stay lucid, yeah, for sure. So, okay, well, thank you so much, Andy, and thank you guys for watching. See you guys soon.